right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I have a Bitcoin miner update special edition. The year is now half over, if you can believe it. So as of Friday was June 30th. So I want to take a look at what the Bitcoin miners and Bitcoin did in the first half of the year. I think you're going to see there's some absolutely shocking results. So I want to go through what they did. I want to talk about, is it too late to get into this? Did you already miss the party, or is there more to come? But let's take a quick look at what happened last week. So you're going to see most of the Bitcoin miners were red last week. Bitcoin itself, you're going to see in gold at minus 2%. So Bitcoin was down 2% last week. That's not a giant volatility week. We've been trading in a tight range. So overall, Bitcoin's trading very near the top of the range that it's been so far this year, but we have still yet to break through that $31,000 mark. So that has been critical resistance. Although we've candle wicked above it several times, we've yet to close a daily candle above that. And to me, I think that's where we really need to go to take the next leg up. Okay, so if we look at this week, there were some good performers this week. So it was not straight across the board red. Core Scientific continues to run like crazy, and when you look at the year-to-date numbers that we're going to look at in a minute, it's absolutely astounding what Core Scientific has done. I will tell you, I did not invest in Core Scientific, so although I am heavily invested in Bitcoin miners, so, I don't want to be greedy. This has been a good year, but I did miss the entire run on Core Scientific, and you're going to see it was spectacular. Okay, HUT was up 13% this week. So HUT has had a recent surge, and Hive is up 12%, and they have had a recent surge. HUT and Hive were kind of dormant for several months, like 4.5 months this year, and all of a sudden they've had a gigantic rally. Marathon was up 9%. It continues to overperform over the last month and a half. It is now the largest Bitcoin miner by market cap. It passed RIOT. RIOT was the largest for almost the entire first half of the year, but right here in the last couple of weeks of the year, RIOT passed them, and now they're putting distance between them. So the other ones that were green, DigiHost was up 4%, RIOT was up 2%, Iris Energy was up 1%. You can see the rest of the Bitcoin miners were down, but I will tell you, if you look in this range, from positive 4% to negative 4%, you're going to find the vast majority of Bitcoin miners. So really, for the most part, these guys were flat on the week last week, so not a lot of activity unless you were here at the extremes. Eni was down 18%, Mawson was down 26%. So those two had a tough week. We talked about the ones that had a good week. So that's what happened week over week. Okay, now let's talk about year to date. Let's get to it. This is the good stuff. If you enjoy this content, please remember to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. It does help out the channel a lot, so it is much appreciated. Okay, I'm going to get right into it. This is the Bitcoin miners and Bitcoin's performance from January 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2023. So that is exactly 6 months. It's exactly the midway point in the year. And you can see this chart is exceptionally green. I would say this has to be one of the best performing industries in the entire stock market. It might be the best performing industry in the entire stock market. We'll take a look at how much it's up in total as an industry a little bit later, but you can see starting with Core Scientific. So Core Scientific, like I said, this has had a monumental run. It's up over 1,000% in the first half of the year this year. You got to take this in perspective. A lot of people, unless you dollar cost averaged in, you are still way down on these Bitcoin miners. But for those of you who dollar cost average in, or for those of you who are recent to the game, if you just joined in the last 6 months or 1 year, you're probably extremely highly profitable. So again, Core Scientific, a runaway first place, up over 1,000% this year. So that's an 11x. So I like to reiterate, I talk about potential 3x's, 5x's, 10x's. I think there will be even more than that. In the last bull run, the Bitcoin miners that were publicly traded on the NASDAQ experienced a 40x. So that does not mean, that's not a guarantee that's going to happen this time, but I do think that's entirely possible for some of these Bitcoin miners to have a 20 or 30 or 40x, maybe more. We've already seen one have a 10x in just 6 months, and we really haven't gotten into the bull market yet, right? We've worked our way, it appears, out of the bear market. It appears we've worked our way out of the crypto winter, but we're still under $31,000. We're still down over 55% off of Bitcoin's high from 2021. Okay, having said that, in 2023, for the first 6 months of the year, you're going to see Bitcoin down near the bottom of this chart, again in gold, up 83% on the year. That was the number one performing asset really across the board. If you compared it to the Dow, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, gold, silver, even Ethereum or oil, whatever you want to compare that to as an asset class, Bitcoin dominated the first 6 months of this year. So as you can see, for the most part, Bitcoin miners, as we have always talked about, are a leveraged play on this. So they are up significantly more than Bitcoin for the most part. There were some laggers. We're going to talk about those, and we need to always look. Sometimes these Bitcoin miners that are lagging represent potential opportunities. Sometimes there's a hidden gem in there somewhere that for whatever reason hasn't had its run yet and it's late to the party, but that doesn't mean it's not going to. Okay, so let's continue from the top of the list. BitDigital, this is my biggest surprise of the year. BitDigital is up 577%. I will tell you where I do think there's a lot of opportunities left here in this market. To me, BitDigital is overbought. So that is not financial advice, right? I'm giving you my personal opinion. A 577% run up for BitDigital to have outperformed all the rest of the Bitcoin miners other than Core Scientific is a big, big surprise to me. I'm not exactly sure what this run is about. Drop down in the comments if you hold BitDigital or you think there's more room left in this run, or if you have a good reason why they've significantly outperformed the field. Okay, now we go to Cypher. Cypher is up 411%. So that's a 5x in just 6 months, and this is one of the larger Bitcoin miners by market cap. All the Bitcoin miners are small market cap companies. In fact, most of them are micro market cap or nano market cap. So some of these are extremely small. And again, we'll get to these and show you the specifics in just a minute. Okay, DigiHost up 400% year to date. Marathon, which is the largest Bitcoin miner by market cap, they are up 305% this year in the first 6 months of the year. HUT is up 288%. Iris Energy is up 273%. So even a company that was up 249% year to date actually fell from first place to second place overall in market cap because Marathon actually even outperformed that. Bitfarms is up 234% on the year, and then Hive is up 222% on the year. From there up, all of those are at least a 3x leverage on Bitcoin, which was up 83% on the year. So that's kind of what I expect out of these Bitcoin miners. I've always talked about them being roughly 3x leverage over the course of time. For those of you who've been in this for a little while, you know that we felt the pain of that leverage on the way down, right? These Bitcoin miners had disastrous years from the end of 2021 to the end of 2022. However, you can see in an immediate turnaround, 2023 has been spectacular. Okay, TeraWolf's up 163%, so that's actually beating Bitcoin, but that's only a 2x. CleanSpark's next only 110% up on the year. So that is just barely ahead of Bitcoin. So to me, that's underperformance for a Bitcoin miner. Then you actually have some that are performing below Bitcoin. So to be fair, DMG Blockchain is at 82% versus 83%. So, within a margin of error, they're performing about the same as Bitcoin. But Argo Blockchain is doing about half what Bitcoin is doing, up 48%. Mawson's only up 37%. Eni is only up 1% year to date. Gree is down 2% year to date, and Stronghold is down 13% year to date. So there are two Bitcoin miners in the red. I will tell you, I have added a position in one of these, and I am adding to that position as opportunity presents itself. So that position is Stronghold. Stronghold is down 13% on the year. 4 of these stocks had to do a reverse stock split. It's my personal opinion that Stronghold is in the middle of paying a penalty in the short term for that reverse stock split. So again, please remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy Stronghold. I'm just telling you these are the types of opportunities I look for, and that's why I do so many different charts. So when you see a chart like this and you see something drastically underperforming, you have to decide for yourself with your own due diligence. Is Stronghold down 13% on a year where the Bitcoin miners are having one of the best years ever because it's a bad company and bad things are happening this year, or is it just lagging behind and it's going to get its turn? So, only you can answer that for yourself. This is a market cap. You'll see I have the top 12 listed, and then Argo Blockchain is in 13th place. We have Marathon, which now is in first place at $2.3 billion. as of Friday. Riot in second place, so those two week over week stayed the same. You'll see at the bottom, the number on the top here is where their rank is this week. The number on the bottom is what their rank was last week as of last Friday. So number 1, 2, and 3 all stayed the same. BitDeer, which is fairly new to the list, so you'll see I have new to list here. This is another one that I feel like is way out ahead of itself, so not financial advice, my personal opinion. I see this as out of balance versus the other Bitcoin miners. So again, please do your own due diligence, but to me, that's a surprising number. The company that moved up this week, HUT now moved into 4th place with market cap. They are at a $730 million market cap. Their market cap is up dramatically. This has just about doubled in the last month and a half, and it's gotten them now ahead of Cypher. Cypher used to be very nearly twice their size at one point this year. HUT has now passed Cypher at $730 million. So Cypher is now in 5th place at $712 million, and then you'll see from those 5, there's a drop-off down to CleanSpark at $483 million. I try to look for things that jump out. CleanSpark's one of the ones that jump out to me on this list. They're set to be a top 3 Bitcoin miner. From a production standpoint, they've been in the top 3 all year, yet they're number 6 by market cap, and some of these are significantly bigger than them. Right, Riot and Marathon are 4 times the market cap that CleanSpark is, or more. Between 320 and 390 million, you've got a big grouping of Bitcoin miners. And I would urge those of you who have the time to do a deep dive into some of those, because while those 5 Bitcoin miners have a very similar market cap, they have extremely different business models. From there, there's a drop off to Iris Energy at 256. Now, Iris Energy, again, if you compare their production to their market cap, from that one standpoint alone, they would appear to be very undervalued. So for me, in my personal opinion, I think Iris Energy is still the most undervalued stock out of all the Bitcoin miners. I think there's a lot of Bitcoin miners that have opportunity. So we asked earlier, are you too late? Did you miss the run? So in my personal opinion, a lot of these have a lot of room left to run. Yes, there have been huge run-ups, but I do think for the winners, and again, I can't tell you which ones those are. You guys need to decide for yourself. But for the Bitcoin miners that are going to win in the long term, I am still bullish on Bitcoin. If you're bullish on Bitcoin, then I do think there's a lot of opportunity left here. Again, we haven't even broken out of this $31,000 resistance for Bitcoin. So I think if and when that happens, we're going to see another move to the upside. And obviously, we have many potential large catalysts ahead beyond that. I'm not going to get into that. That's for another video. That is a quick overview of what the Bitcoin miners did in the first half of 2023. So absolutely spectacular performance for the vast majority of these Bitcoin miners. Everybody feel free to drop a comment and let me know what stock you think has a lot of potential upside still. Which one's the most undervalued? Which one's the most overvalued? So we'll take a look. I'm going to keep a good thought for the second half of the year. I am personally bullish, so we'll see what happens. Best of luck to everybody. Hope you guys had a great first half of 2023. Thanks again, and we will see you in the next video.